Why did we only send $670 to Mom? My husband yells, clearly frustrated. I had to stop sending more money. Look at what's left in her account on this statement. I calmly respond. My name is Penelope. I'm 42. And I work part-time at a supermarket. I have 2 sons, Ethan, who's in 8th grade, and Leo, who's in 6th. Asher, my husband, is 43. His mother, my mother-in-law, is 67 and has been living alone since Asher's father passed away. She gets a pension, but it's not much. When my father-in-law died, we talked about it. He raised Asher, and I feel indebted to him. We agreed I'd send her $335 a month as a way of helping her out, figuring she might need more support in the future. I continue. They told us the house loan is paid off, and my late father-in-law left $200,000 in his will. Since Asher is his only child, he decided to give it all to his mother. I thought we'd be fine with that. It's tough to watch your savings disappear without an income. My mother-in-law suggested that I send her a regular allowance. It's really just a small gesture, I add. Less than a year after our agreement, my mother-in-law called, crying. She complained about the allowance. Because of COVID, I can't even afford to shop at the cheaper supermarket. I can't save anything, she says. COVID makes things difficult for some people, Asher acknowledges. Yeah, it's scary to go out. I suggest, if you need anything, just let me know. I can grab it from that specific store when I get off work. But my mother-in-law insists. That's not the issue. It's not just food, it's everyday things too. Oh, I get it now, I say. It's not just groceries. I'll also pick up other household items from that store. Honestly, do I really need to explain everything? She snaps. It's not just food or basic items. It's things like hair dye to cover the gray too. She's implying that the allowance isn't enough. And it's not just basic necessities. Feeling guilty, Asher says, sorry, Mom, and increases the allowance to $670 without even asking me first. Wow, $670 is a lot of money, I remark, taken aback by his decision. That's basically all I make at my part-time job. And our eldest will soon be preparing for entrance exams. We can't afford to skip cram school either. I ask my boss for more hours, but it's hard to juggle work and home. Mom, you're never home in the evenings. Leo, my younger son, complains. I'm sorry, sweetie. Mommy is working hard to provide for us, I explain, feeling guilty. Today, I made this really cool piggy bank at school and got praised for it, but now I can't even talk about it. He grumbles, banging his fists on the table. I'm so sorry. I'll buy you that toy you wanted for your birthday, I promise, hoping to make it up to him. Then Asher walks by. Hold off on the toy. Grandma is making sacrifices too. Mommy isn't working just for toys. She's working for Grandma, he says, leaving me feeling guilty, even about our child's birthday present. We're cutting back for my mother-in-law. And his words make me question, who am I really working for? His words leave me feeling confused. Unexpectedly, my younger son stays behind and pats my shoulder. Mom, you're doing your best. Don't worry, I don't need the toy right now, he reassures me. But the uncertainty creeps back in when my mother-in-law calls. Did you get the envelope? She asks, her voice shaky. Yes, I answer. You can probably guess what happened next. Later that day, I open an envelope from my mother-in-law, finding a bank statement inside. I quickly check the balance and am taken aback. $6? It's under $10 now. Do you see this? My mother-in-law seems to know I've seen the statement. Her voice cracks with tears as she continues. With prices going up, I can't even pay the electricity or gas bills anymore. I try to keep calm while reviewing the statement. Enough. You always tell me what to do, but this constant complaining isn't helping. The solutions you suggest, like running errands for groceries or household items, are just not working. That's why I called. She sobs. Asher, are you there? Can you take over for me? Asher, who had already been listening, takes the phone from me. Yeah, he says, but then exclaims, oh no. He continues, letting her use up the entire inheritance until the balance is under $10. I'm sorry, this is truly a misfortune for my humble parents. Yes, I understand. Starting next month, if I send $2,000 a month, Will that work? He says suddenly. What, $2,000? How could the allowance be that much? I stand there, stunned by the figure. After hanging up, Asher angrily demands, why is the allowance only $670? I told you it should be at least that much. Look at the envelope, do you see that? I try to explain, but he cuts me off, raising his voice. I owe her for raising me. She'll need more help down the road. If you think of it as caregiving, why is my mother in such a desperate situation? I've reached my breaking point. Even the $335 allowance was tough. I thought raising it to $670 was a reasonable step. I worked harder at my part-time job to make ends meet, cooking more affordable meals, and managing the household as best I could. But it still wasn't enough, and there were sacrifices. I did it for my children, just like everything else. But then, without consulting me, my mother-in-law decides on $2,000 as the new allowance, disregarding how we're managing the finances, as seen in her bank statement. Enough, I snap. I'm doing this for my sons, not for my mother-in-law. Asher mocks me. What's this? Are you getting defensive now? I'm done being pushed around. After seeing that bank statement, I can't accept the outrageous $2,000 allowance suggestion. I've had enough of a son who blindly supports a money-hungry mother and grandmother. People who can't prioritize our family shouldn't be in our lives. Get out, I shout, pushing Asher toward the door. If you want to support your mother so badly, go live with her. Go to hell together. I shove the envelope in his face as I escort him out. I'll send your things back to you, and you'll pay for the shipping, I say coldly. Take a good look at your mother's bank statement. Huh? Asher asks, stunned. I simply closed the door, laughing and giving it a good slam. What's happening? My mom asked, hearing the noise. Our two kids came down the stairs. Well, kids, I said, your dad wants to spend more money on you, and he's asked Grandma to do the same. I couldn't keep it in anymore, so I explained everything to them. I understand, Mom, if you decided this, it must be what's best for the family, my eldest replied. I'll stick with you, Lou, they added. As for that toy, I'll wait until I'm an adult, no matter how long it takes. My younger son tried to cheer me up, saying, thanks, my boys. A week later, my husband called out to me. Please, help me, he begged. What for? I replied coldly. Can you at least hear me out? He pleaded. I know what you meant when you mentioned the statement, he stammered. I can't believe I'm just now understanding what that means. He kept going, clinging to his words. I had to fight back laughter over the phone. I can't believe you trusted your mother blindly, and now you're suggesting such a ridiculous proposal. You seriously want to get back together now? You don't even realize how clueless you are. You always question things without seeing your own indecisiveness. You pull others into your mess and act surprised when it's pointed out, I said. Well, I guess one last conversation wouldn't hurt. I need to say a few things in person. It's important for the kids, and we need closure, he said. I agreed to meet him at our house. Oh, and bring all of your mom's credit card statements, okay? I instructed. My husband and mother-in-law arrived, both clearly a mess. I feared this meeting would be a disaster. If you had just calmed down and looked at the statement, you would have figured it out. My husband insulted me outright. You left your mother behind, didn't you? He added. I replied calmly. So, can you show me the statement? My husband placed it on the table, trembling. As I glanced at it, I asked, what did you find? Then, he confessed, my mom. She used the money I sent her for everything, electricity, gas, food. It wasn't just for living expenses. It wasn't just for living expenses, was it? Actually, that was just the secondary purpose, right? Please, say it yourself, I urged. She was a member of an escort club, he whispered, barely audible. I let him continue, while my mother-in-law's lips trembled. I couldn't hold back my laughter. That's right. The woman you trusted more than me was spending your money on male escorts, all while lying about not being able to pay the increased bills, and came begging to her own son, I said gleefully. The statement showed expenses at a place called Romeo, followed by high-end restaurants and bars, She was spending over $40,000 a month. After laughing it off, I took a sip of water to calm myself, then spoke again. Even at nearly 70 years old, how could she pick up a young, handsome guy at an escort club and take him to all these fancy places? How did she end up in such a situation, begging her own son for money? Did she get addicted to this lifestyle or something? I teased, digging at her pride. Unexpectedly, my mother-in-law spoke up. He told me he loves the princess who gives him an allowance. He even brings me gifts. This made me spit out my drink in surprise. I couldn't stop giggling. Calling a 67-year-old woman a princess was too much. Some people are easily swayed by words, like my mother-in-law, becoming a man's personal ATM just to keep hearing those flattering phrases. I took another sip of water. If you're giving an escort guy an allowance, he must be withdrawing a lot, right? I asked. It wasn't my mother-in-law who reacted, but my husband, who visibly shuddered. I placed a business card on the table. I had a great time meeting you today. Love you. Please request me again. I read aloud. Huh? My husband stared at the card. I didn't expect to be kicked out all of a sudden. I didn't even tidy up my room, did I? He stammered. I found your stuff while I was cleaning up. Even those weird money deductions. It all makes sense now. Yes, that's right. So, it's not all my fault, my mother-in-law shouted. A glass of lemonade sat untouched in front of her. She hadn't even tried it. It was expected, given that she had been continuously blamed. But as the blame shifted, she tried to make an unexpected turn. My husband's voice trembled as he tried to respond. But after being laughed at so much, am I the only one being ridiculous? Isn't that unfair? He said, trying to defend himself. Huh? No. Wait a minute. You're making me spend all this money, and now you're saying this? That's my line. You want more money because your allowance isn't enough? I can't believe you're into escort girls too. Like mother, like son. That's a ridiculous way to spend money. It's over now, right? Both of you are done. I snapped. At my words, both my husband and mother-in-law were left speechless. Hey, kids, come down here for a minute. I called up to the second floor. The two kids came down. I need to talk to you seriously. Mom and I have decided that we should split up because Dad and Grandma have been using money selfishly. I explained. Dad has been giving money to another woman, and Grandma has been spending tons on a younger man. They're asking for more. My husband tried to stop me from saying anything in front of the kids, but I thought they needed to know the truth. The older one spoke up, agreeing that Dad shouldn't hide things. They pointed out how Dad said there wasn't enough money for toys, but he was spending it on other people. The younger one said that their older sibling probably needed money for tutoring. That's right. I want to save money for your future, not waste it on strangers, I said firmly. Hearing this, the older child said, then it's goodbye from us too. The younger one agreed, saying they could manage without toys. They both thought it was wrong for Dad to spend money on someone else instead of us. In the end, it was clear I had to sever ties with both my husband and my mother-in-law. Thanks to my divorce and the alimony from my mother-in-law's extravagant spending, I was able to live comfortably. Sadly, they continued their reckless habits and soon hit rock bottom, accumulating so much debt that they had to give up their house. Despite having to pay alimony and child support, they couldn't seem to manage their finances. I refused to give them any help. They needed to face the consequences of their actions. I've taken on part-time work to support us. We're not living luxuriously, but the three of us are getting by. It may not be extravagant, but I'm determined to do everything I can for my kids. My hope is to continue living peacefully with them in the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Stay stunned.